I mean, it was hard to turn the page. Obviously, they dropped that awesome documentary, September 6th it was. So obviously, like we're all texting each other, ready to watch it, and it just brought back all those emotions. And I was sitting on my couch watching that all over again, and the way it transpired, and we were just sitting there crying again, like how how much work and effort you put into it. And obviously, they did an amazing job, like recapping everything from round to round and doing the interviews in between rounds after games. And you kind of forget a lot of the stuff that happened because it's playoffs. Like you don't have a good game, it's behind you. You got to move forward to the series. You got to obviously win the next one. So you forget like a lot of stuff that actually did go down behind the scenes, and how we lost like 5-1 to Rochester, and just come back and win 3 straight, stuff like that. And same thing, Coachella, we didn't score in their building. We're down basically 9-0 after 2 games, and then we win 3 at home, and obviously 2 overtimes and a 1-goal game. But we kind of addressed that opening meeting yesterday. Got to turn the page. We got a big target on our back. It's been a quick turnaround for us. So, it's time to get to work. Everyone's going to be gunning for us. We're going to get everyone's best, and that's what that's what happens when you're the defending champs. And we got a lot of hungry guys in that locker room who weren't part of that team last year, and want to have that feeling. So it's been pretty cool to talk to them, and they're asking us what the experience is like, and they're all driven to do the same thing and try and go back to back. But we got to take it day by day and just work through training camp and obviously figure out our team and move forward from there.
That's probably one of the neat things about having new guys in is that you're able to tell them what you went through last year and what it's going to take, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about having Mac as our captain, Nelly as our leader. They both went through it together in Grand Rapids, and obviously Nelly's gone through it a couple times. So we had a guy who's been there. Same with Wellesley. He was part of the teams in 09 and 10. So they had that experience, what it takes to get there. And same with Mac and a couple other guys who made some deep playoff runs. So having that experience definitely helps, and having a deep team really helps, and that's something we definitely have again this year. So if guys get hurt or things aren't going someone's way, you can kind of plug some guys into the lineup who are a little more healthy, or if someone just needs like a mental reset or whatnot, you can just like take them out, watch some video, put another guy in, and not skip a beat. And that really helped us throughout playoffs last year. So that was something they emphasized again, and it's going to suck obviously sending some guys down. And it's a very competitive locker room in there, and everyone's going to give their best, so it's going to make their decisions really hard. But that's the reality of it. Like, some good players aren't going to make this team, but we're going to need them down the stretch. So it's a lot of give and take.
You mentioned the up and down with Carbs up in D.C. What is that like for people that are going to have to fill in for a little bit? Like, the expectations are really clear about what he demands of his players and what would be expected of someone. Is that when someone is needed for a week, 2 weeks, couple of games, is that going to be a lot easier transition for them, understanding what Carbs wants?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job up at camp, just laying the foundation, and it was all about the culture. And he talked about it in that documentary too. He talked about it at training camp opening day. That's all our culture, no matter where you are in the organization. You try and get better and strive to be better, and we're kind of doing all the same systems as, Carbs is up there. So in any case, if somebody gets hurt or somebody needs to go up, like, they're not going to skip a beat. And, Nelly makes sure we're working hard, and there's a lot of communication between the teams from South Carolina, Hershey to Washington. And there's, just plenty of players that are able to make that jump. And I think that, Nelly prepares us really well, and Carbs really did a good job of, letting us know what it's going to take and what he wants out of each and every one of us.
You mentioned Nelly. It's never a given that the coach is back. Right? You guys all have opportunities. What's that comfort level like to know that Nelly's in the locker room, his consistency?
It's huge. Obviously, like having him last year as our anchor and our leader, and just pushing us to get better. Like I said, he's been there plenty of times. I think that was his 3rd Calder Cup. So to come in here late last season with a handful of guys he barely knows, just to set the foundation with a cookout, a pig roast, whatever he likes to do, and he just likes to get to know everybody from a personal level outside of hockey. And I think that's something that sets him apart from other coaches. He's out there with us, he's roasting a pig for whatever 6 hours, and talking to friends, family, kids, whatever, and just getting to know everybody and getting an understanding of who they are. And obviously in the locker room you're getting one version of him, and then outside the rink you get another version. So I think he does a great job balancing that. But it comes with a lot of give and take. Like, he's going to give us all those opportunities to, bond together as a team. But when we come to the rink, it's all about work, and we're out there doing whatever it takes. And he's going to know when we're tired and when we're not tired. And if we got to go for a couple more reps, we will. And he's a really good judge of gauging how tired we are, and if we need to be pushed a little more, he'll push us. So that's something I learned a lot last year with him, and it obviously worked. It sucked when we had those long practices and we did the 6:30s at the end of them, and he just kept preaching like it's going to pay off, and it really did. We didn't lose a overtime game all through playoffs, and he just kept saying like it's because of those 6:30s. So the work that we put in definitely gets rewarded, and obviously the on the ice stuff and as well as off the ice. So he's the perfect leader for our team.
Sometimes it's human nature to kind of have a letdown after a big success. How do you guard against that, especially early on in the season when it's not going to be that same level of intensity that the playoffs were?
Yeah, there's always that championship hangover that people talk about, and we're trying to already not make excuses for ourselves. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. Like, I'm not going to be wearing like championship gear around the rink. Obviously, it's tough to turn the page when we have the ring ceremony and the banner night coming up. But at the same time, we're moving forward. We got like half the guys are new here, so we got to get them up to speed. We got to get ourselves up to speed. It was a quick turnaround. I think just everyone that's in that locker room understands that we have a target on our back, and we got to be ready for it. So we're trying to like eliminate the excuses now, put in the work, and hopefully it's not too bad of a start. Obviously it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint here, and we're going to preach about that, but we obviously want to get off to a good start and just kind of go from there.
Do you notice a difference maybe between like a guy like Ethan Frank and Logan Day? Not that Ethan was new last year because he was around the season before, but he was still a young guy last year. Logan Day kind of new to the club last year. Now that they're experienced a championship here and contributed so much to the team last year, do you notice a difference in them coming into the locker room like this year, like maybe more like veteran swag, I guess? Or am I making something up in my head?
No, I mean, they're the same guys that were last year. I mean, Logan's Logan. He's got his own personality. He hasn't changed a bit. And, Ethan, he's one of the first guys to come to the rink, last ones to leave. He's the same person. He's in his corner doing his thing, taping his stick, and, out there working. And I think that's what made us special about last year. It was like a very selfless effort. Everybody really cared about each other, and there was no like individuality in the locker room. It was truly a brotherhood, and it's kind of like those guys who are coming back understand like you can't be cocky or have this alter persona swagger because you won. You got to go out there and prove it every single day. And this year is going to be a real test of how well we play because, like I said, we're going to get everyone's best. So if we come out here with no cockiness and a little bit extra swagger that we didn't have last year and get pumped first game, then it's really going to suck. It's banner night and get the rings and everything. So I think everyone's pretty humble. Obviously, we had a really good season last year, and we're trying to turn the page. But I think the experience helps, and like nobody's really changed who they are or their swagger or nothing like that. They're just ready to get better and have another great season.
Have you been able to reflect emotionally at all about the Game 7 goal, that being the goal that wins the championship, and kind of all that at all, or is it just still kind of,
I think when that documentary came out and the way everything went down, and I was in like a 9-game pointless streak, and the guys always had my back through it, carrying the slack for me, and just the way they were talking about it afterwards, like Massey and Borgie saying it was always Vecchione, like that's the stuff that really like hit home, having my teammates talk about me in that manner. And that's what I was just talking about. Like, it truly was a brotherhood. Like, it didn't matter who scored, and I think Nelly pointed that out. Like, we all celebrated like we all scored, and it's kind of tough to reflect on that because it happened so quick, and you go from like Game 7 overtime, and you're just kind of like, don't make the wrong pass, or like hopefully this puck doesn't bounce over someone's stick and go the other way, and it's season over. And fortunately enough, I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time. And Borgie makes a great play, and you go from kind of like nerves to just pure euphoria like that. And I don't know. I guess like I really haven't been able to really reflect on it because it's just like it happens and everyone's just swarming you and you kind of like black out a bit, and then everyone comes out crying and you have the cup for a little bit and you're celebrating. That's why like having those videos are so great, because you can just look back and reflect on it all the time. And it really hit home when I watched that and the whole behind the scenes, and even like seeing myself crying. I was crying again, and yeah, it was just a real emotional experience. And like I said, just hearing the boys talk about it, and the final ending to the whole thing on the stage, roaring and saying it was always the Bears, like it's chilling. And it's awesome that Monumental Sports was there to do all that, and obviously you guys were there for the whole thing too, doing your recap of the playoffs. So it's always going to be a great memory, and we have so many resources to look back on it. So if I need a little pick-me-up, I can always go back and watch it. But we have another full season ahead of us, and we're going to be, everyone's going to be gunning for us. So we're going to be ready to go, and I'd love to do that again.
You said last shot, the Roar. Is the Roar coming back this year, or is it
I got nothing else in the tank, so I mean, that's all I got. I'm a one-trick pony here, but if something else comes up, maybe. But I think it was funny that that just happened organically, and it was basically like a year ago today. We were scrimmaging, and I scored, and that's what I did. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. A year ago today, the Roar really wasn't a thing, and now it's just been absolutely crazy. So I think it's fun. I think it's energetic. It's obviously we're the Bears, so it makes the most sense. And I just love when the fans are doing it. The boys are down the line, all leaning over doing it. And if somebody else scores, I love when they're doing it too. So it's just really fun for everybody. And yeah, it just gets the boys going. So I think that's going to stick for a while. I don't think any other celebration is going to do it justice.